Hello everyone. Uh, so today I want to first talk about the supplier data, right? So within the supplier data, I want to talk about the supplier master data, right? Generally, there are multiple data sets, right, in the supply chain. Specifically talking about procurement or supplier related data. There will be your transactions data, right? So there will be master data, there will be some reference data, and as well as there is a unstructured data as well, right? Unstructured data as in like the documents, as well as any web link, right? Or the news alert, etc. Okay. So today I want to really focus on the supplier hierarchy, right? Why it is important, what are the different levels within the supplier hierarchy, right? And how to think about simplifying the supplier hierarchy, right? That is very important and typically in the market, right? So there are third-party data set that provide the supplier hierarchy. So the examples are Duns and Bradstreet, DNB, or as well as like Equifax is also another example who are research company who have like all the information about the credit, the risk, right? All the basic information and as well as hierarchy of a given business entity. But it's, I think, very important to tailor it for your business, right? So here I have tried to kind of simplify the supplier hierarchy based on its business purpose, right? So there could be even more layer levels as well, right? So for example, there could be maybe a domestic parent or there might be a parent. But instead of that, I think I just try to simplify based on the business purpose. I think what we can do is we can go, I think, top-down kind of approach. So the first we can talk about level one, which is a global parent, right? So definition, I think, is that this is an individual entity, right, which is not owned by anyone. Here is one illustration that we see. Thermo Fisher Scientific is very big conglomerate, right, or the very big company. It's a global company. I have taken again an example only within USA, right? But there could be, imagine, other entities of a Thermo Fisher across other countries as well, right? So the definition of a global parent is it's independent. It's not owned by anyone. And what is a business use? It's useful for consolidating the spend, right? So for example, if I'm a company and I want to see how much I'm spending for all the workshop, right? Because I may have multiple purchase order across the different countries of a Thermo Fisher or its subsidiaries. But if I really want to understand how much I'm kind of spending on Thermo Fisher, I think that is where I need to have this particular level where I can report my spend. Okay. So I think this one is very important kind of a level to have. Also, in Duns and Bradstreet data, they call it as the global ultimate parent. Okay. Then after that, it comes a domestic parent or legal entity, right? So here I'm trying to simplify and trying to remove the some intermediate kind of levels. So definition is that wherever your contract happens, right? Suppose you have a contract with Thermo Fisher Scientific, you have a contract with Applied Biosystem, and you have a different contract with in Vitrogen, right? And also, if you look at their, ideally here I have shown it as a same tax ID because in case of Thermo Fisher, they have the same tax ID only. But in real scenario, we would like, I mean, consider your tax ID is kind of different for these, right? Because it will have a unique kind of a tax ID and you have a contract, right? Or if it is master service agreement, it will be with this particular entity, okay? And then you have the most granular data, right, which is also called as ERP data or ERP suppliers that are created for a purchase order, for a payments, right, or for remittance. So there will be these multiple addresses, right, for a given supplier, legal entity. It could be your maybe a physical locations, it could be your payment side, procurement side, manufacturing locations. So these are grouped or these should roll up to this legal entity, right, within a given country. And similarly, here we can see that Thermo Fisher has three different sites, Applied Biosystem has one, and Invitrogen has two. Okay. So now these sites are very important. As I said, these are created inside the ERP. So the source is internally created. Then you have the domestic parent or legal entity. That is something you have in a contracting system. And then your global parent comes from third-party data, or even a lot of companies do it like a manual match and merge or manual matching, right? Just they say, hey, all this Thermo Fisher Scientific should be Thermo Fisher. they can assign their own ID. But I think it's ideal to have the source from data like Dunstan and Bradstreet, where you can clearly see whether which one is a global parent, right? And corresponding DUNS number is also useful because you can get information about their credit assessment, right? Any information about the risk scoring, etc., that directly comes at a DUNS number level. Hence, I think having this DUNS for a global parent is also very important. Okay. So as I said, this is one of the very simplified. What is takeaway over is that you need to kind of understand what your business needs, and accordingly, you need to kind of tailor the hierarchy, right? And you can be a selective about what do you want to use from third-party data like a Dunstan and Bradstreet, right? But I think there is no, I think the debate or the two different opinions about having a global parent from third party. I think that's a clear. Even the ERP sites is also clear. The this intermediate, the legal entity section is where I think there's some contextualization might be required based on how you are kind of set up, how your contracting system is set up, right? What business exactly want to see. So based on that, that particular level can be defined, right? But I think this is very essential, critical component of the procurement analytics and supplier master data. This is really much more complex, right? So a lot of nuances will be there, right? Mergers and acquisition. ERPs typically will have a lot of duplicates because it's a legacy system and so on. So I think defining this particular levels of hierarchy and align with the business is very important to embark on the journey of having one single source of a truth for supplied master data. Okay, all right, thank you.